time. So, Deal Finders Friday is about automating your marketing to do more deals. And we're going to have a discussion every Friday with our deal finders, our deal VAs, our deal closers, and yours truly, the deal engineer. We're going to be talking about strategies, talking about funnel marketing, talking about exit strategies that are working in today's market. And fortunate enough today to have on our deal VA, lead VA, Mary. Mary, say hello.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
And we have one of our deal finders, Alma Wiggins, on. Alma.
Hi, everybody.
And we have online right now, heading up our deal closers division here at Deal Mastery, Reese Pennington.
How you guys doing?
All right, all right. So let's go ahead and kind of kick it off. And again, this is Andre Johnson here, the deal engineer. We're going to be talking about, again, on Deal Finders Friday, we're going to be talking about automating your marketing to do more deals. Certainly in these challenging times we're in right now, there will be an abundance of opportunity with motivated sellers. There will be people that can't, won't be able to keep up with their obligations with their properties. And you, as an investor trying to get your first deal or next deal done, you have to know how to get in touch with these potentially motivated sellers. You have to know how to nurture the relationships with them virtually. And you have to know the strategies that work in today's market to get the properties negotiated with the best price and terms for you as an investor, to provide a win-win scenario for you as the investor, for the seller as a motivated seller, and then if you're wholesaling it for your buyer, or if you're just selling it in general to your buyer. So let's go ahead and kick it off by talking about a recent campaign that you have going, Alma. I know you have what we call a done for you seller marketing campaign, a Texting Tuesdays campaign, and I believe you kicked that off about 2 weeks ago. Is currently in the midst of having some additional follow up for a full 30 days. So let's talk about your campaign, your experience so far. And I believe just before we got on, you said that you just got a new lead that seems very promising about 10 minutes before we actually went live. So I'm going to toss it to you to actually, just bring us up to speed on, your current campaign and the status of it.
Well, first of all, I'm real excited about being involved in the campaign. And I have been around for a while and I'm not terribly tech savvy. So being a part of the Done For You program is exactly what I needed to not have to figure out what was going on, and to do all of the things that I want to do and all of the ideas that was running around in my head. So with your help and the help of your team, we were able to kick it off. And the first call that came through, it came through on my phone as a notice, and I didn't know exactly what to do. And I picked up the phone, and it was a stupid conversation, and I realized what was going on. And he said, hello, you want to buy my house? And I said, you got a house to sell? And then when he started talking, then I realized, oh, this is the first lead. And I told him that I would do my research and I'd get back to him. And it was like, oh my gosh. And I had to get a lot of assistance in getting the whole program up and running. And then when I got the lead, I blundered through the first 6 before I knew what was going on, that I didn't have to answer the phone, that the virtual assistants were answering the phone. It's like, okay, now I know what to do. And it was it was a scary experience, but I fought through it and did it anyway. And I had little mini successes in figuring out the various aspects. And then talking to Reese, I'd call him, I got another one. What do I do? And we did the 3-way calls, and it was just real exciting. And we had several conversations. One was real challenging that Reese could probably tell you better. And one of the real important things on this is to be able to listen to what that that seller is saying, because that helps you figure out how to come back with your response and what kind of strategies are necessary. And he did all the talking and I did all the listening. And then we touched bases to really evaluate what was going on after that. So
Okay.
it was real exciting.
So let's go ahead and reset this. So again, Alma Wiggins, one of our deal finders who uses our deal finders funnel to help her to automate her marketing. And so just want to reset the conversation, those of you just getting on. So we have a cloud-based CRM and a funnel that connects a lot of applications and allows you to do personalized broadcast text messaging, cold calls, ringless voicemails, and has a soft phone built in. And so there's a lot of automation with the setup. And so before you got your campaign started, I want to kick it to Mary, who is our lead virtual assistant. And so Mary actually heads up our team of deal VAs. And Mary, why don't you just let people know what went into setting up Alma's campaign? Mary?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Basically, when we started the campaign for Alma, we make sure that the leads that we got are good leads, or quality leads, so that when we start the campaign, she'll be getting or the records. I mean, she'll be getting good leads that she can use for that. And for her, we got about 5,000 leads and numbers that we sent out SMS to for the entire 7-day campaign for the Texting Tuesdays. And within that campaign, our VAs are there to assist for the follow-up and, of course, for calling the clients.
Okay, and so part of that setup for Alma's campaign, I know there was some back and forth with Alma, so there's some automation set up on our side. So what's that like in terms of passing the ball to her so that she can actually start the campaign? Like, what is the client and Alma in that case has to do to start the campaign?
Yes, for her to start a campaign, or before we start the campaign, the records are sent out to her so that she can review, as is with all the clients, basically to see if the targeted lists that we have are good for her. And if it is, then we will upload all the records to her CRM or to the funnel, and we'll go from there. From then on, all she needs to do is just press go, go to the funnel and just press go, and that's it. Nothing else.
All right, cool. So Alma, how was that experience? Logging into the funnel, following the, quick start videos, pressing go, and then seeing all the, outbound prospecting messages start to go out to the targeted, motivated sellers that you were prospecting.
It was exciting and overwhelming.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We want it to be a little overwhelming, because if it was exciting and you just dialed one number and talked to one seller, that'd be kind of a letdown after that one call didn't result in a deal, right? So we need to be marketing in scale, in volume. You can't expect to build a business by just prospecting to one or two potential sellers. You have to be doing this on a large scale. So hopefully after this first campaign and the experiences you shared earlier, your follow-up as you continue through this campaign, and then your next campaign will just even be smoother, for you and your team. So Reese, I want to bring you in here. So, and Alma, we're going to circle back to you on the lead that you just had come in about 10 minutes before the call. But Reese, I want to bring you in. So I know you have been working with Alma, heading up our deal closers division. And do you want to just maybe share a quick story about maybe one or two of the leads that you guys have followed up on, maybe the seller's motivation, their mindset, just how you've had to play that negotiating dance with the seller in this market, and the types of strategies you've implemented?
Yeah, absolutely. So Alma and I have had a few conversations with a couple of different sellers. Some of those sellers have been a little bit more of like a dominant personality, a little bit aggressive. So in that kind of situation, you kind of got to match that tone, which we've been able to do to really kind of break through and get that seller to, take you seriously. So some of those we're still following up on, trying to get some creative terms on. There was a house that I was actually fairly close to yesterday that we went and took some pictures of. That seller was actually fairly close to the price range we thought, based on what he said the property needed in repairs. But it turns out he was telling us that it only needs 40. After looking at it, I think it needs somewhere around 80 or 90,000. A lot of plumbing, a lot of electrical that still needs to be done, and some structural stuff. But there's some follow-up that needs to be done. I think that there's those deals, those two, and then plus maybe one or two other ones that are hanging out there. We just got to follow up on it. Should be able to wrap a couple of those up on the contract.
Okay, so before we get to Alma, the lead that came in this morning right before our call, let me see if I can go ahead and pivot and take a look at just the numbers on your campaign. So what I'm going to do is see if I can flip and share the screen here so we can actually take a look momentarily at your campaign from a numbers perspective. And we're going to do that by sharing this screen here. And let's see here if we can bring that in. All right. So I'm going to try to share the screen. And you guys just bear with me. So hopefully you guys can see this. And on this particular view, what we're trying to show you here is you guys can see the screen, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what we're taking a look at here is Alma's campaign since it started on April the 23rd. And I really want to just key you in on a few numbers here. So again, this is Alma's campaign using our Deal Finders funnel. Campaign started on April 23rd. And you can see here that you have roughly 3,000 sellers that were prospected, total of about 4,600 messages that have been sent out in total. Of the 4,600 messages, I'll show you a breakdown in a second, but 1,600 or so outbound messages or text messages. The first day, 47 inbound, so about a 3% contact rate. The next day, about 1,450 outbound, 52 inbound messages, still about a 3% contact rate. And the contact rate pretty much stays pretty true throughout the campaign, being at around 3% inbound contact rate. What I will show you, though, and bring your attention to, look at that line that says form, F-O-R-M. So on the first day, she got two forms meaning qualified leads. That's our internal system description for a qualified lead. So Mary, why don't you go ahead and describe, what the deal VAs do to actually get that qualified lead?
Well, basically, when we get a lead in and a reply from the SMS, our VAs would actually contact the client and verify that the property is for sale, and ask them how much their selling price would be. I'll get all the information in the form, and once it's done, they will be submitting it. So that's going to be a valid lead, and from then on, we will go ahead and send out offers to them initially, and that's about it. We will send out offers for them through our system, and we will inform the client that we send out an offer to the particular seller who is interested in selling the property.
Okay, and so with that in mind, so the VAs will do all the back and forth grunt work. So the back and forth texting, the back and forth calling. So Alma, you can stay focused on negotiating and closing, the qualified leads that do come your way, working with Reese, and doing all your evaluations for qualified leads. So all these form entries you see here, 2 on the first day, 6 on the second day, 1 on the following day, 2 on the 26th, 4 days later, 4 on the 27th, and you can see 2 on the 28th. You can see that there was a consistent influx of qualified leads. And all in all, roughly 3,000 motivated sellers that Alma was prospecting. And what area were you prospecting, Alma? What part of the country?
Baltimore City and County.
Baltimore City and County. So roughly 3,000 prospective sellers in Baltimore City and County. Were you looking at absentees or vacants? What was your list?
Yes, the absentees.
Absentees. So roughly 3,000 absentees in Baltimore City and County. hitting most of them 2 times, so close to 4,600 total messages. And you can see here, look at the numbers here. So about a 5% or about 6% contact rate in terms of inbound text messages. In terms of inbound calls, about 40 inbound calls. And if you look at the total number of qualified leads, 23 unique qualified leads and 2 sellers that had more than one property, so 25 total qualified leads. So in a 7-day campaign with a total of 30 days of follow-up, to have 25 qualified leads is a very, very good campaign. And so now it's all about the follow-up. It's all about what Reese said, making sure that you get that seller on the phone, make sure you build that rapid rapport, make sure you understand what their problems are. And I'm going to kick it to Reese to get deeper into that, because yes, someone may say they want to sell, but saying they want to sell and saying, I just want to get cash, that always isn't the case. Sometimes that's a smoke screen. Sometimes that's just a default instinctive response a seller has. You really have to understand what their problem is. And if you understand what their real problem is, then you can come up with a creative solution that's a win-win for you and the seller. So I'll kick it to Reese to then elaborate on that and talk about how you are helping our deal finders heading up our negotiating and deal closers division with peeling back the layers on the onion to really uncover the seller's problems.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a big process that we start out when we have these conversations with those sellers. Is they might say, okay, well, I want to sell, but I want I want $100,000 for the property. Okay, great. That's if we're able to get to that price, how much are you actually going to net on that property? Or do you have a mortgage in place? Well, yeah, I have my mortgage is $80,000 on the property. Okay. So it sounds like really what you're looking for is somewhere around, 10 to 20,000 in cash is what you need to get to that, to be able to exit this property. Well, that would probably solve a lot of problems for me. So in a situation like that, instead of just making a full cash offer that makes sense, sometimes to solve their problem, we could offer them, that $10,000 or $20,000 down, be able to take over their payments for a period of time while being able to solve their problem. They're able to get out of the situation that they're in, and then we're able to, turn that into either a property to keep in the rental portfolio or to wholesale off to another investor.
Okay, and so Alma, did you want to pick it up and talk about that lead that came in right before we got on the call? Just you don't have to talk about a specific address, but just, where is it? What side of town? What does it appear to be in terms of the type of opportunity? Those sort of things.
Well, there are actually 2.
Okay.
And listening to Reese, I picked up a lot of techniques on how to listen and to pivot or switch to the strategies, or not the strategies, but the way that the seller is coming off. She was very specific, straight to the point. And so I eliminated all the fluff and went straight to that. She has, it's in the central part of the city, and she has 2 rental properties, and they have Section 8 tenants in them. And she's tired of being a landlord, and she's retiring, and she's moving back to the Midwest. So she wants to liquidate those. So I told her that I very quickly, she told me why she was selling before I even asked her, which really illustrated a level of motivation there that I picked up. And I said, well, thank you very much for calling. I said, we will investigate the property. We'll look at some numbers and we'll get back to you so that you will be able to move back to the Midwest as you want to. Really listening to what it is they're saying and then be able to follow up on it. So that came in about 10 minutes before we came on. So I'm anxious to be on this program, but I'm also anxious for the program to end so that I can go in and look at the properties and see what's going on, because I I need to follow up on this right away.
Absolutely. And I see you picked up a number of negotiating tips there, because not only did you listen, and active listening allowed her to tell you the motivation before you asked, but you also, it sounds like you mirrored, her motivation by saying, let's come up with the solutions you can get on to moving to the Midwest. And that really goes a long way in building rapid rapport with people. I know that's something that Reese is helping you to do and helping other deal finders to do. So
I'm taking notes.
there you go. And so, hopefully you're going to follow up with that right after the call. So why don't either you or Reese kind of share with folks how that actually happens in terms of the two of you jumping on a three-way call with sellers to help negotiate and close the deals together. So you want to take that, Reese?
Yeah, absolutely. So once the lead comes in, through Alma's deal funnel, either her or the deal finder will will call that particular seller once the lead form has been filled out, get a little bit of information, and then schedule time inside of my calendar. So the nice thing is they're able to pull up my calendar right there on the spot, find out what time works best for the seller, and schedule it right away. And that seller gets an invite to a conference call number, so that way we can all hop on together, and we're able to get right into the negotiations of how we can solve that seller's problem.
Okay, and Alma, have you actually done one of those with Reese at this point?
We've done a number of those.
Okay.
Almost 4?
Okay.
I think it's been 5, yeah.
4 or 5, yes.
Well, why don't you share with us one of the most colorful ones, how it went? Because we know when you talk to sellers, it's not always a layup slam dunk of a sale. So of course sometimes you get that seller, that dude, that gal who just wants to play hardball. So how'd that one go? The one that kind of just stands out.
Reese, I'll let you take that one. I did 100% listening on that one.
So this particular guy, he was just very aggressive. He's obviously been trying to sell his property for a long time for a very high price, and he's like, I keep getting all these cash offers, and he was cussing in the entire thing. So really, what I had to do was really kind of match that energy, match that tone, and really kind of give it back to him and let him know, like, hey man, because at the end of the day, we want to be in control of the conversation and providing some sort of solution to him. But that particular personality type, they're not going to take you serious until you get on the same level with them. So it took me getting to that same level for him to be like, okay, now he's starting to hear me. Now we're starting to get creative with the terms. Obviously he still wants way too much for that property. But we're still trying to work that out because we can't do a cash offer for what he wants.
Okay, and so let me spin this a little bit. I'm gonna spin this in a way that will hopefully resonate with people that are watching that may not have the experience of actually even doing one deal at all, or may not have the experience of doing any type of direct-to-seller marketing. Because there are a lot of people out there as real estate investors trying to build a real estate business that for all their career as an investor have gotten their deals via one of three ways. One, the MLS via an agent or broker. Two, by way of a wholesaler. Or three, by way of an auction or referral. Those are the top three ways that people get deals. And so when those pipelines dry up, so right now I'm seeing fewer emails from wholesalers, okay? I'm seeing, some real estate agents, pick up work somewhere else, part-time this, part-time that. So when these avenues of relying on other people to feed you, that is MLS offers, wholesalers bringing you deals, auctions or referrals, when they dry up, now it's like, okay, well, I have to feed myself. I have to, control my own destiny, put my own two hands on the wheel and make sure that, I'm driving my business in terms of new leads, new opportunities, targeting motivated sellers, who have the highest motivation to sell, whether that is people behind on payments, people that are own vacant properties with no income coming in, whatever the case may be. And so what I really want to spin it forward now and talk about is, just the numbers game that is direct to seller marketing. Because I know Reese, we were talking about this with another deal finder, just how they need to increase their marketing just to have more leads, more opportunities to evaluate. Alma, I know you've been down this road as an investor before, knowing that you need, a continuous flow of potentially motivated sellers to have multiple conversations so that you can get the deal flow you want on the back end. So first, before I throw it to you guys, I want to throw it to Mary. And so, Mary, when we do our campaigns, what number of records, like, so the list, the targeted list, whether it's absentees, whether it's vacants, whether someone wants to look at expired listings or withdrawn listings, like some of our clients are now asking for, what number of records do we typically have them start with their campaign?
Typically, we start them with 5,000 records of numbers and of course the list for the campaign. It really depends on what the targeted list that they have for that particular campaign for the week. It depends also on the program that they sign up with us. We go from 5,000 to 10,000 leads, depending on what they want for the entire campaign for the 7 days.
Okay, and then of course it depends on what types of properties you're targeting. Some people may be targeting apartments, multi-units. Some people may be targeting all residential, no condos. Some people may be targeting, let's say, mobile homes. So it depends on what your type of targeted property is. You can target whatever type of properties you want, but ultimately you can see what Mary said. Usually 5,000 to 10,000 records that you start with at the top of your funnel. And then you do your "Are you selling?" prospecting messages, and then some people respond, and that number dwindles down to what you saw in Alma's campaign. You may start targeting 3,000 people and wind up with hundreds of people that respond, and then wind up with like 20 to 30 qualified leads. So Alma, let's kick it to you now, and I want to ask you, what type of exit strategies are you looking for? Are you looking for cash flowing portfolio properties like rentals, lease options? Are you looking for flip opportunities? What are you looking for with your marketing campaigns?
Well, COVID-19 has made me switch a bit.
Okay.
Because of initially, prior to this, I was doing the fix and flips. I don't want to put my funding into something that's going to take a long time as the market has changed. So I'm really looking at doing the wholesaling now and for rentals. And as I go through the list and talk to the people that the leads that we've had, and with Reese doing the negotiating, we're coming up with some of those creative strategies that you talked about before, which really meets the needs of the people who have properties that they want to get rid of. And it also meets the needs that I want to accomplish. So having the experience of a professional negotiator and having all of the systems in place, and I've been taking copious notes, I know when to, or I can figure out when to switch from one strategy to the next based on what that situation is. And I plan to move forward on the 30-day, the Done For You 30-day program.
Okay.
Because I want to expand my leads and my area so that I can get the results, because I'm really excited about this first time around. It's like, if this works now, going bigger makes it better.
Yeah, be bigger and better than ever with your expanded campaign. So I know you touched on it real quick, but I'll just elaborate. So you're going to be expanding your next campaign with a bigger list size, with full 30-day deal VA follow-up. And so I'll just say it briefly. So we helped Alma with funding for that campaign and helping her to get funding for her entire business with our Deal Mastery funding that we have in place for our clients. So any of you out there that are interested in getting funding for your business to fund your marketing, your operations, that is your virtual assistants, and then your professional services, like having deal closers to be working for you, and even mentors for that matter, we can help you to get up to $25,000 in unsecured funding to fund your marketing your operations, your VAs, as well as your professional service partners like Reese and Deal Closers. So if you're interested in that, just drop us a line you can drop us a line at Deals Meetup on Facebook, and we'll get you more information. So Reese, you want to just follow up there on just in general how it's been and getting some of these deals negotiated. You can talk about one recently that you just got negotiated with creative terms and strategies.
So I'm actually working on a couple different ones. And like Andre was mentioning earlier, I mean, the key to this game is really follow up. And especially with everything that's been going on with the COVID-19, you really have to get creative in a lot of these situations. So that's anywhere from the seller actually becoming the bank and carrying the note on it, or being able to take over their payments, and multiple different options like that, where just either listing it or a cash offer doesn't work out. I've been versed in that. I've done a few deals. I continue to educate myself on that, so that way I can continue to help the Deal Closer clients be able to close and do more deals. So,
yeah, there are buyers out here, guys.
Absolutely.
We did a Deal Mastery Monday call. I believe it was this past Monday, and I actually did that call and showed exactly where the buyers are. You have to follow the money. You have to know where the cash buyers, where the investors are buying, what zip codes. You can't just say, for example, all of Maryland or all of DC or all of Virginia. You have to know, where the activity is. And even though the supply may have lessened in terms of sellers putting fewer listings on the market, even though the number of closed transactions on MLS have gone down, there are still cash transactions taking place. You just have to know where they are. If you're looking to wholesale, you have to know how to structure these deals so that they are attractive on a cash-on-cash return to your wholesale buyers. So with that, I want to go ahead and wrap up today's call. It's been great to catch up with you, Alma, and with you, Mary, and you, Reese, on this Deal Finders Friday. So any parting words, Mary? I'll throw it to you first.
Yeah, if you are interested to find a VA and help you with your real estate business, don't hesitate to go to dealvas.com. We have VAs, well-trained VAs for you. You can do part-time or full-time, depending on what you need for your business. And yeah, that's it.
All right. And Reese?
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone's interested in the Deal Closer services that we provide, you guys can always go to dealclosers.team. We do have some spots still opened up. That's dealclosers.team. Look forward to seeing you guys there.
All right. And Alma, any words for people that may not have any experience with Deal Finders? I want to make sure people know Deal Finders is not a co-wholesaling program. It's much bigger than just wholesaling. Deal Finders is a cloud-based automated marketing platform, and then we have done-for-you services on the back end to help you. So, Alma, I'll throw it to you for you to comment just on your experience with us so far, and just to share that with people that are watching.
Well, I want to preface that by saying that I have been involved in real estate and investing on various levels and doing various things for a long time, but it has not been focused. And it has not been coordinated. And I just decided that this is my last hurrah. And I'm going to get it right this time. And in order to do it, it needed to be a coordinated effort with very specific systems, people, and strategies in place. And this is what I found with Deal Finders. And I am all in for this, and it will work, and we will make it successful. I'm not accepting anything else. I'm excited about it. And for those people who really want to step out and achieve those things that they want to accomplish, this is where you can get it done.
All right, absolutely. And so again, hope you guys join us at our upcoming Deal Finders Bootcamp. That is a 2-day virtual bootcamp coming soon. You can go to dealfindersbootcamp.com. Again, dealfindersbootcamp.com to get more information about it. We're going to be with you for 2 full days, virtually, 100% online. We're going to be able to, in those 2 days, hopefully have you the full 2 days attentive so we can build your entire Deal Finders funnel. So we'll take you from how to create motivated seller lists, like Alma has done, whether it's absentees or vacants or people behind on payments or expireds or whatever the case may be. We'll stack them so people have multiple motivations, and you get someone that is highly likely to be motivated. And so we'll take you all the way from that motivated seller list all the way through the automation of building your funnel, all the way through how to qualify the leads, and then to the process of sending out e-sign offers that you can leverage our deal closers on negotiating, getting those properties under contract with whatever preferred exit strategy you have, whether it's cash flowing a rental, via taking over payments, master leasing, subject twos, et cetera, et cetera. So look forward to joining us at our next Deal Finders Bootcamp. It's coming up soon. Again, that's dealfindersbootcamp.com, dealfindersbootcamp.com. Get more information there. We do have a BOGO, buy one, get one special taking place right now that's ending soon. So go to dealfindersbootcamp.com to get more information. 2 full days. You can't beat it for the opportunity to connect with me, with other deal finders, with our deal mastery experts, deal closers like Reese, et cetera. So thank you guys for being on the call today. Really appreciate the story you shared, Alma, the nuggets you dropped, Reese, on how to negotiate and close these deals in this market. And Mary, appreciate your time and educating people on how our deal VAs are helping our deal finders to automate their business and to do more deals. So guys, we'll talk to you next week. Take care.
So yes.
All
Okay,
right.
bye.
Bye.